Okay, so we got another 5-inch drone here. This is from HAKRC. This is the KK series, the 220, and then there's a 5 GT and a 7 GT. Looks like they got 3 levels here: training, racing, and freestyle. I'm waiting for the 5 GT. I think that's coming eventually. I haven't seen this one yet, the 7 GT. Maybe that hasn't been announced yet on any of the vendors yet, but that's interesting. So it comes in the traditional tub that you see here, the drone on top, and a box of goodies inside. Okay, so this is what's inside the box as at the bottom. Your props here, these are the King Kong 5040 props. We'll see if I use these or not. I didn't like the ones that came with the other models from LDRC. And then we have a bunch of long zip ties and get a battery strap. Get some wiring harnesses here for a receiver, it looks like. And we get a little whip antenna. It looks like it comes on an SMA connector. And we get a pretty big manual here. This is going to be pretty detailed in terms of setup, binding to your radio and all that. I don't believe this is the bind and fly version. This is probably a plug and play. And yeah, the instructions that come from King Kong LDRC are pretty good. Looks like this is going to be also one manual for all the models. I think there's the 220 and then there's the 5 GT, and they're going to have different parts and stuff. But I think the firmware and the stack in there is the same in both of them. So going into more detail on this later. I think their instructions are good. So if you always have any trouble figuring things out, they just consult the manual and you'll be able to figure it out. Now this model here has the 1806 motors. So these motors are the same ones that are on the other lightweight model from King Kong. Just basically had a different cage. Had the fly egg cage, and this one has also an aluminum cage but a different shape. The arms look like, I don't know. Yeah, it looks like they're replaceable arms now instead of that was the previous model was a unibody. So you see a little sandwich plate there on the bottom. And you got some screws here holding things in. You got the nuts there for your stack, and then screws here for the cage. And the arms look a little bit narrower than on the previous model, but I think they're thicker. They look really thick. I think they're 5mm thick, so not really doesn't feel that light. Anyway, I'll cover all that in the review. These 1806 motors are very efficient, but not super powerful. So if you're into getting longer flight times, this is going to probably perform pretty similarly to the other one that I reviewed. And you see it's got that, I think it's got the same stack in here. They might have updated it a little bit. Yeah, it probably hasn't OSD and all that, so we'll cover all that later. And then this one has a Runcam in here. Not sure what model. It looks like a mini version of something. Got the micro camera, so it's a little bit bigger. So you can get an M12 lens instead of an M8 lens. And then you get your antenna going out the back, receiver connection here, and you got a XT60 connector. And it looks like you got your little space there for your battery strap. The carbon is pretty sharp. It's cut well, but it's not chamfered. So you probably want to file that down a little bit if you want to not get your battery strap cut. But yeah, looks pretty nice. I'll have a video on this one pretty soon, so stay tuned. Okay, we got a bunch of parts here from Banggood. It looks like the postman did a number on my shipment here. These motor boxes are totally smashed up. Nice. But I think these are the new Sunnysky motors. Let's see, find a box that's not totally damaged. Here's a 2204 2300 kV, and it's purple. And here's what it looks like. So yeah, I was interested in checking this out because I guess this is a pretty light motor and pretty cool colors. I think it does come in other colors like blue and black and etc. But I think the purple looks pretty cool, and I like the motor wire. Looks pretty nice too. So I think I'm putting this on some sort of an ultralight build. I've got some pretty light frames I want to try out, so I think this motor might be pretty good for a really light racer or something like that. Maybe we'll check it out in a future video. Okay, so this is another 4-in-1 EC here from HAKRC. and looks like the box is kind of already open. And it's a 50 amp 4-in-1. It's a 32-bit ESC. It's BLE32 3 to 6S. Pretty nice looking. It's got this heatsink on here, so you can't really see what's underneath in terms of capacitors. I've heard some good things about this one. This one's already been reviewed by a lot of other people. So we got another regular capacitor here. You got an XT60, and you got your wiring looms, and yeah, pretty basic stuff here. Nothing too unusual. So I'll do a video on this one. If you guys have any questions, let me know. And this here is a F7 flight controller. I think I might use this one with that HAKRC and make a nice little 6S stack. This looks like the F7s are already coming out. So I thought this one was kind of interesting because it was pretty inexpensive. I think it was around $20 at the time. And it kind of reminds me of the old school Omnibus F3. This is an F7. And you got... yeah, it's got all the basic stuff on there. You got wiring loom for your ESC, but it looks like these are bare wires on this side. I'll have to figure that out, how to connect that up to a ESC with plugs. And then you have the little vibration dampeners here. These are M4 holes, and they alternate to an M3 hole. Because obviously you want to isolate the vibrations. I think this one has a 32K gyro on there and some mounting hardware. So pretty basic. If you want looking for an expensive F7, this is pretty inexpensive. I'll do a review video on this one later. Now if you're looking for much more expensive F7, this is the Holybro Kakute F7 with the Teco ESC combo. Okay, so in the box here you get a little spare ribbon cable here for the gyro. Make sure you don't lose that, and then you get some wiring looms that goes from the flight controllers to the ESC, and then this is the stack here. Got some stickers in the bottom. You can see the gyro is on a little sticky pad. That's pretty. This is what they have always done on their stacks, and if anything gets caught on that ribbon cable right there, looking at to resolder that on, that might be kind of tricky. But they do provide a spare if you need it. But yeah, just a quick look at it. Obviously I'll have a full video later. Stack looks pretty nice. I heard these are 32-bit ESCs, by the way. I heard these are pretty solid ESCs. And interesting that this side of the board kind of sticks out a little bit. USB port there. So nothing too unusual here, but this is kind of a pricey board. I think it's over $100. So, but I heard this thing performs really well. So I'll put this probably on a really nice build at some point later. Okay, so we got another stack here. This is from King Kong. It's called the Super Tower 40 amp. I think it's an F4 with a 40 amp ESC. Yeah, this one doesn't come with a video transmitter, but obviously it's a 30 by 30 stack. You got all your wiring looms here, a little capacitor. Looks like it comes with a video transmitter adapter, a little MMCX to SMA adapter. So maybe one of these is a video transmitter, which I kind of forgot. Let's see, let's open this up. Okay, yeah, so we get a 40 amp 4 EC. I believe this is just BLE-S. Yeah, D-Shot 600, yep. So it ought to be pretty good. It's got a current sensor on there. Then we got I think this is an F4 flight controller with the video transmitter on board with the MMCX connector right there. And it comes with a little heatsink here, so that's nice. It ought to keep the board cool. But yeah, it's all King Kong stuff. This ought to work pretty good. I've had nothing but good things with King Kong stuff. I mean, they're nothing super fancy or anything like that, but they tend to just work, and they work pretty good. So if you're looking for something reliable and not too expensive, this stack might not be a bad choice. So I'll be doing a video on this one too, so stay tuned for that one. Okay, we got one more stack. This is like the shipment of flight stacks. It's pretty crazy. So we have a Flycolor X-Tower and this one here, and I don't know anything about this one. Let's see, we got a F4, looks like an F405. I'm not sure what that is. I think it's another kind of F4 chip. And MPU 6000. It uses the Omnibus F4 SD target. Nothing. Yeah, okay, so this is D-Shot 1200. So this does have a 32-bit ESC, and I guess yeah, here we go. 3.6S, 32-bit ESC, F4, and yeah. So this one looks like everything's 6S capable these days. And here's a look at the stack. Oh, it comes all assembled, and it comes with vibration dampening right here. So a little dampeners there, so he probably doesn't need it because it's got an MTU6000, but that would make it a really good performance. And you got more vibration dampening down here with these little O-rings. So yeah, it's all ready to go, just right into your stack, and it ought to be pretty low profile. This one doesn't come with a video transmitter, it's just the 4-in-1 ESC and the flight controller. So yeah, this one also going to be testing this out too. This one looks like a pretty nice product, and I don't remember what the price is, so you'll have to check the link in the description. But I think with all these little connectors here, they ought to include those. It looks like they're in the bottom here. You got some instructions, yeah, and there's your XT60 and a whole bunch of wiring harnesses there. So yeah, and the instructions are probably pretty good. Flycolor stuff is usually top-notch instructions, so expecting good things from this one. So I'll have a video on this one soon as well. Okay, so this one's not a stack, but I have a frame. This is a frame from GoFly. So I haven't seen too much stuff from them lately, but they have a frame out now. It's called the Lafon 220X, and I believe this one, you'll have to check the link in the description because obviously I'm not going to build it here, but I think that you can swap out the front end for one that will support a GoPro session versus a regular later front end that doesn't support the GoPro. So you can sort of do some swapping of parts and stuff and make a sort of a more versatile frame. I think that's why it's caught my eye. And yeah, this one has a bunch of parts, battery straps, and you got your carbon pieces here, individual arms. Pretty nice. I think they're 5mm arms. They're really thick, and they're kind of skinny, so ought to hold up pretty good in a crash. Yeah, so this one looked pretty good. Don't know anything about their frames. I've never reviewed any of their frames before. This is the first one, so we'll see how it looks when I put it together. And maybe one of these stacks will end up going into this frame. Okay, so I got this prototype battery here. This is as you can see, a 6-cell. I don't know who makes it. It just says extreme power on here. I think this is a prototype. I think the sticker is finalized yet. But I'm going to be testing this out. It's a 1000 milliamp hour 6S battery. It's not a high volt, just has an XT60. And you can see it's kind of more traditional size, what you would see out there. Let me just bring in a 1500 4S here. So this is the 1550 Ovonic that I reviewed. This is a 4-cell battery. See how the cells are much thicker. And this is a 6-cell, but you can kind of see they're kind of comparable sizes. A lot of the 6-cell batteries out there are kind of weird sizes, so it makes mounting them to your frame kind of tricky, where they get in the way in terms of air resistance. So this one, you see, looks more like a traditional 4-cell pack, so it ought to fit better on your drone, wherever, like, you know, if you're top mounting or whatever. This is a more typical size and shape versus some of the weird. Basically, what they've been doing is they take a 4-cell, they'll slap 2 more of these on. It's a really fat battery, and you end up with some really weird sizes on the 6-cell batteries. But this one looks like it'll fit just fine, and I'll be doing some testing on this one pretty soon. But I don't have a link for this right now, so I'm not sure when it's going to be on sale. So stay tuned for videos on this one. Okay, got a bunch of new cameras in here from Caddx. This is their new Firefly camera. And let's see, this is I think a video transmitter and camera combo. It's probably for your like whoop style small tiny micros. And they got the video transmitter and the camera already connected. Standard micro CMOS lens. I think it's a 1200 TV line sensor. I think this is 50 milliwatt switchable. It obviously runs off of 1S power, I believe. Button switchable here. I think I might have smart audio actually. Not 100% sure on that, but yeah, I'll have a review on this coming up soon. So I did a review on the EOS 1 a while back. I think the only difference here is that this has the little screw holes on the side to mount it, so it'll help in terms of mounting on things, but there's no settings changes or anything like that. It's the same cable here. It's just standard power and video. Pretty sure the image quality is going to be the same. It was pretty nice on the first one, the 1200 TV line CMOS. I like the image on that one. Okay, we got another micro SDR2 Plus, and this has a new lens and I think case. Yeah, so they have these new colored cases now. They just came out, and now they're using the M12 lens. I think this is an upgrade from the one that's on the Turtle, and it's just a kind of short lens there. But pretty interesting. I have an older version of the SDR2 with the M8 lens, so let's see how this compares to this new one with the M12 lens. Okay, this one's a Turbo Micro S2. And again, I think that they have the new case with the new lens here. It's another M12 lens with this camouflage case. I think that's a CCD, an updated version of the S1. And then this one is another SDR2. And so it's just a different color case, it looks like. Another M12 lens. And yeah, red camouflage case. That's pretty cool looking. I like that. And we'll have review videos on all this stuff coming up soon. Okay, so we got another new micro drone here. This is called the X3. And this is from SPC Maker. It's called the XPKRC. So it's actually from SPC Maker here. The brand name is, I don't know why they're calling it XPKRC. Maybe they're trying to get away from this name brand because it's kind of tainted a little bit, perhaps. But the name of the drone is an X3. Looks like it's 304S. Omnibus F4, 1106, 4500 kV motors. I think this is a 3-inch setup, so probably 4S on this low kV motor. Interesting. Another 1106 motor here. Micro Spiro 2, you got BLE SCSCs, free sky receiver, and 25 to 100 milliwatt VTX. If I remember correctly, this is the same SPC Maker VTX that I don't like, where it doesn't have smart audio and the buttons are really hard to use. So let's see. I'll take a look at that again, but pretty sure that's what this has. Okay, so in the box you get a battery strap. You get these. These are the Emax Avon mini props. They're 3-inch props with the T-mount style screws. And you get the, looks like you get the screws for the props and some spare M2 screws here. Okay, yeah, so here it is, and classic SPC Maker style here with the ends, or the edges of the carbon being painted in their classic purple color. I think I've seen orange and blue on some of the other ones, but yeah, this is a 3-inch frame, skinny arms. I think it's a 3mm bottom plate. Yeah, 1106 motors here, open bottom design. I don't know who makes this. Possibly could be Sunnysky rebrand, not sure. Oh, you know, interesting. You got the ends kind of on the, or the arms on the ends of the frame here. Sort of reminds me sort of a floss style. I see a lot of these sort of racing frames like that, where the ends are kind of pushed to the or the arms are pushed to the ends of the frame. But this is a unibody style here. No separated arms. Keep it lighter. 20 by 20 stack here. Yeah, they really reduced carbon wherever they could, but only one cutout there on the bottom. It actually doesn't feel that heavy. We'll see what the weight is in the review. Side plates here for the cage. Got a 3-stack flight stack there. 401 AC. Flight controller, video transmitter, and it does look like the video transmitter that I'm not particularly fond of. XM Plus receiver. Probably need to flash the firmware on that. The antennas are already installed, and I don't know why they keep doing this, where they don't have the zip tie all the way to the ends here. This is the part that's the most important part that needs to be protected, and somehow they keep doing this. And then I see other people copying this, which is actually incorrect. So if you put your antennas like this, don't do that. The zip tie should go all the way to the end. Keep this straight, and the heat shrink all the way to the end. So don't do this. XT30 in the back here, buzzer LED, all pretty typical stuff here. And I believe this is a Runcam Micro Spiro 2. Yeah, in the matching purple color, of course. All good. Yeah, this ought to be a pretty good flyer. 1106, 4500 kV, 3-inch. I know what that it kind of feels like. So we'll get this in the air pretty soon and get your review. So we'll be on the lookout for that.